to her. Um, she was doing law. I gave her an impression that the UIFs of my fathers are withheld, and because we don't have any legal representative, it's hard. Then I gave her an impression that at one stage I will need her legal assistance for the release of the money, and all those were lies. I just wanted a place to stay so that I can finish my studies. Remember, at that time, NSFAS was not paying for accommodation if you are staying outside. In July, towards the end of July, she came back. She was very angry, and now she did not buy anything from me. And when she needed the money, I told her that I'm not going anywhere. You can kill me. I'm not going to live here. She thought I'm crazy. I told her that you can do whatever I want to do. If you want to kill me, you can kill me. Where should I go? I can't go home. They're relying on me. I can't go home. She was like, no, Nakam is not my place. So if you're not paying, they assume me I'm making plans for you. Then I told her, then call whoever is responsible. I will explain to that person. Now, but what you need to know is that I'm not going to leave this house. Then she left. So her leaving left a lot of unanswered questions, and I started questioning my safety as well. I started to feel like it's no longer safe to stay here. Then I remember late at night, I packed my things. I packed everything. When it's quiet, I took everything else to campus. I left my bags at OCH, the classroom. I left them there, and I used to sleep on campus in the classrooms. And at home, they need food. It was hard. I became a hobo. Chasing education. I wanted to be educated, but I didn't have the resources. So I had to risk with my life to be educated. And I knew that there's no way I can go back home. If I go back home, then I'm selling out the future of my sisters. They were still in high school. So what was left for me was to say, keep soldiering on, keep soldiering on. I started asking food at student races. Some assisted me, some could not. Bathing in the toilets. in the hope that I'll be fine. I couldn't tell them at home because they were going to call me back. I don't wish this on anyone. My undergraduate life has been very difficult. I didn't have clothes. Thanks to Ludwig Holle. Thanks to Tovejan. Thanks to Semi. For always assisting me with the clothes when they realize that I'm struggling. I was left with no option but to go to church and ask for assistance. And I asked after the male choir practice that as I'm struggling, I'm a hobo, and maybe most of you don't know because I try by all means not to look like one, but I'm struggling. I don't have accommodation. If there's anyone amongst you here who's willing just to squat me, at least if I can stay there and manage to bath and go to class, I will appreciate so much. But I want to leave a disclaimer that I don't have anything except myself. I was surprised by the love that I got. Um, but before that, I asked some homeboy, Mokhalabon, to assist me with the accommodation, and he did. I don't know, maybe he thought I'm coming with food first, then he realized that he brought poverty into his room. Even today, I still believe that maybe it was his strategies to tell me that the rest manager is aware, then I must pack my bags and leave. So, in a way, when I was a hobo, I had to find that place, but I stayed there for like a week. Thereafter, I went back to the street. After the street, that's when I started to ask around church if there's anyone who can assist me. To my surprise, almost everyone wanted to accommodate me. So I chose to stay with Huma. He's now a soldier in, I think he's in Palabora now. Actually, he's from Palabora as well. He accommodated me. I had to choose on who do I want to stay with because everyone wanted to accommodate me. Um, I stayed with him. He was staying in a two-bedroom, so the other room was occupied by an old man who was a student as well, but he was working at one of the cafeterias. So he would come with food almost every day from the cafeteria. That's how I survived because the old man would also share food with me. Then Huma tried to also get some sponge, and I was sleeping on the sponge for a long time until the end of the year. Thanks to you guys for assisting me so much. So now I have to go to third year. It's my final year. So in the final year, uh, things started being much better. Things started to change. Remember, at that time, NSFAS was only taking better care when you are doing final. So if you passed all your modules, you are given a 40% off. You're given money for books. You're given some privileges. So I started to have my first room as a final year student, and I got it on campus. That's why I'm saying things started being much better. Things started to change because I could convert the money that was allocated for my books to hard cash. I remember I got a room on campus. If I'm not mistaken, it's MBG. I started staying there. Um, then life started changing. I started buying my own clothes from that because I would go to Polokwane there by I think Skuman, if I'm not mistaken, where Skype is. I would wait outside for people who are coming to buy books with cash. Then I will use my card, then they give me cash. Then I will send some home. Then I will buy food. And I remember I bought my first Adidas shoes. Um, but I bought them from the street anyway. But since Shalang, it's Adidas. Even. So life started coming much better, honestly. In my third year, I was staying on campus. Life was better. And one other thing is that I got a bursary when I was doing final year. Thanks to Bishop Edward Lachany and the Bursary Fund for assisting me. Life started changing there. They gave me 15,000. Um, Life became better. Uh, what I picked from the experience is that none of the set experiences that I was plugged with has affected my academic performance. In fact, I used the situation to work so hard. I used my situation to uplift myself. I would challenge myself to say the only way to get out of this situation is for me to get things right academically. And I was passing so much that when I was doing final, the department of responsible for the degree that I'm doing on campus started noticing that I'm there. And when I was doing final, they approached me. They were like, "We heard that you are one of the best students here, and we would like to recruit you to at least come and assist in the department as a student assistant. And we'll see how much we can give you, but what we can tell you is that we need you." So I told them no, it was even my plan also to do my honors, so why not? So fast forward, I finished my degree, I registered for my honors. In the same year that I registered my honors is the same year that I was graduating for my degree. Um, it was hard. I remember when I was graduating for my degree, um, my father couldn't see me. He was blind. They just drove him to Teflop just to hear the sound of people when my name is called. That was so special. seeing him there at the back, um, that his son is graduating. It was quite fulfilling. So I registered my honors. Um, then I started working in the department. So around campus, I started being a student assistant. I was just sent to deliver documents and all that. But in the final year, that which I was told that they want to employ me, they told me when I was doing final in December, and they were like, "Come and assist. We'll give you something." So when I told them at home that they called me that I should come and assist, so I won't come as expected because I will be assisting that one. To them was like maybe I got a job. Even in my mind, I thought I got something better until when it's almost Christmas and I'm waiting to be paid. Then they gave me 500 rand hard cash. They were like, this is not even the payment. We're just thanking you for your time and all that." So at home they're expecting that I will come with a better salary to make the Christmas a better one. But I appreciate, and I even appreciated at that time that no, I just appreciate that you saw a need to even call me. Then I took the 500, I went back home. That was my first salary for the Christmas. Um, well, coming January comes, I registered for my honors. Um, by God's grace, for the first time, um, Bishop Edward Tlachany and the Bursary Fund funding postgraduates. I don't even think they even fund them even now. Even when I went to their offices to explain, they're like, "We don't know how you got the funding, but as far as we know, our policies don't fund postgraduate students. But if you're funded by us, you're funded by us. We can't do anything about it." So it is in the same year that because of my final year marks and performance, I managed to get the National Research Fund (NRF) funding on campus. So which means now I've got two bursaries as a honor student. So the good thing about these bursaries is that when they finish paying off the fees, the remaining becomes mine. So I remember on the day, uh, towards the end of my honors, the the amount which was left there was I think was something like 36,000. It was a lot of money. 36,000. With the 36,000, um, I decided that I'm not going to buy anything. I'm not going to buy my clothes. I'm not going to do anything for me. Then I took that money and started renovating at home. And I did huge transformation. I've built a better bedroom for my parents. I've made sure that the house looks much proper. I fixed the roof and everything. And what was left was just for the painting, but everything was so perfect. So I'm still a student assistant. So when I finished my honors, they're like, we are interested in absorbing you actually. So And for you to be absorbed, you need to register further. And I told them that actually my plan is to eventually do a PhD. So you don't really need to motivate me because I started calling myself Professor Make in 2008. So this was not just a name. For me, it's a dream. And at that time, I didn't know that I will realize it this way because I wanted to do law. I wanted to be a lawyer. So I didn't even think of professorship and all that. So I think this is the road. So I will register for my master's. Because I passed my honors well as well. When I registered for my master's, I got a scholarship again. I got a bursary. In fact, I got a, a 2 year scholarship to study overseas. I remember some students went to overseas. I got an opportunity to go and study overseas. The only reason why I did not go is because my family was relying on me. So I felt like if I leave, then they're gonna struggle so much. So now that at least I've got something, the student assistant thing is paying something, so if I leave them, I'm going to focus on studies alone. Who's going to take care of them? So I forfeited that scholarship to study for my masters at the University of Antwerp in Belgium. So it was painful seeing others like Wufusi, Makamu traveling to Belgium to study um, the same thing that I would have taken. But after that, that's when I got a bursary from NRF. So instead of going overseas to study, I got a bursary to study here at home and also have an advantage of getting some remittance to home during month end. So life started changing more in that way. And when I when I was doing my masters, I was then employed as a junior lecturer. So uh, I started lecturing as a honors student because I was a student assistant going with a professor to class, a professor who at that time was still a doctor and at that time was still an HOD. So at times he would just say, go and teach without me preparing, and I would go and deliver the best teachings. So I think that has also arrived to his ears that we think you have brought someone who's very good with this thing. We propose to you that since we are always busy, why don't you just give us him and he will start teaching? And at honors level, they gave me the module. I started working, but it didn't change how much I was earning. So that's why I didn't even speak directly about it. So, but what is important is that I was lecturing, I was given a class full of students, first year and second year, and also supervising at honors level. But the supervision part came when I was doing my master's. So at master's level, I got a bursary again. So this bursary was paying, I think, 60,000, and my fees were only 20,000. So which means the remaining also comes to my account, and that bursary now it's for 2 years for the masters. So which means no more struggle. We are staying at Nkandla. Life it's best. There's a nice accommodation called Nkandla there by the University of Limpopo. It was still new. We were the first ones to open it. So life it's now changing. Things are much better, and at the same time you are earning something. Your life is so nice. It's so nice. So in the first year of my masters, I got that the remainings I think was 42,000, and I took that money straight home. I didn't use it myself. Um, we made a good use of it. I don't think it's the right platform to share what I did with that money, but we make good use of that money as a family. So the second year of my masters came in. There's huge progress in my masters, but there's this supervisor who's not willing to assist me at all from the initial stage of it. I once shared this story on Facebook.